Am I live? Am I live? I can't tell. There we go. I think I'm live. Alright, guys. So, I just got back home from watching The Last Jedi. I walked. My theater that I went to was about like maybe 40 minutes away from me, and I did that intentionally. Well, I did that for two reasons. One, I don't have a parking space in my garage right now, so I needed to go to I couldn't drive my car, so I walked. But that walk helped me think about what I felt about The Last Jedi. Now, this will be an open discussion. I'll be talking to you guys in the chat, but I'm just going to give you guys my feelings as they are right now as I play some Battlefront 2. The Last Jedi was a mess. That's what constantly comes back up in my mind every time I'm gonna mess with this guy real quick. You're gonna die, don't fall. Oh, it was a mess. That's all. That every time I think about it, that is the best way of describing what the movie was for me or to me. Now, what does that mean? It doesn't sound as bad as I think some of you might be taking it automatically. Like some of you might be like, "Oh, he said it's a mess. He thinks it's a terrible movie." No. My feelings for The Last Jedi are on a spectrum. It's more complicated than just saying I loved it, or I hated it, or even I liked it, or disliked it. So much happened. Things, again, like I said, things I liked, things that I didn't like. Now, okay. I don't even know how to start this discussion. Okay, I'll talk about first the things that I thought were perfect, that don't need any changes, that I was on board for 100%. One, oh my god, I can't kill this guy. Okay, there we go. One, I loved Poe Dameron. Oh, by the way, guys, this is a spoiler talk, so if you don't want to be a part of this, leave the video. Everything about Poe Dameron, to me, sat right with me. His whole arc, like at the beginning of the movie, what do we see with him, right? He's a little bit too brash. He wants to blow things up before thinking things through. He goes through challenges throughout the movie, which challenge that notion of his. Wow, did I really kill somebody? Let me throw this at this guy real quick. And then at the end, we saw that he finally, like when Finn wanted to do the suicide mission thing, we saw how Poe understood that it's important to keep people alive so that there are leaders who can carry on the resistance. All right, right? Poe, and all the Poe Dameron scenes, like whether it was him acting or the comedy bits that were coming up with him, or just his interactions with every character, Oscar Isaac brought it. Like, he was an awesome performer, and Poe Dameron as a character, as a story arc, was the only thing I feel like in the movie that I can say was completely perfect. Let's go on the other side of the spectrum. Since I'm doing what I loved, and I'll talk about what I hate, and I'll talk about kind of, most of this movie sits within the liked it, dislike it column. Like, not a lot of this actually goes to like, I love it, or hate it. What I hated about this movie, The Last Jedi, was not Luke Skywalker. I'm not saying that literally. Yes, The Last Jedi, the illusion of that title in the movie, yes, it's alluding to Luke Skywalker. But what I mean by that, when I say that it was not Luke Skywalker, what I'm trying to say is that, well, I'm actually doing pretty well, and I'm not even like paying attention to what I'm doing right now. That was not Luke Skywalker, and we all could have made that guess because, as we heard from interviews from Mark Hamill, like during Celebration, he was saying, like, when he got the script, he was like, what is this? Like, this isn't Luke Skywalker. He's about hope. He's about compassion. He's not about going away and hiding away. So I was like, I gave them the benefit of the doubt, right? I went into this movie and I said, okay, I understand what you guys are going for. I'll hear you out. If you guys give me a good reason for why Luke, went away from the Jedi and isn't the Luke Skywalker that I know from Return of the Jedi, not the Luke Skywalker that I grew up with in A New Hope, and then Empire Strikes Back, and saw him go through the challenges of what it means, okay, I'm going off on a rant already. Okay, let me structure my thoughts a little bit better now. So what happens in the movie is that Luke Skywalker decides that the Jedi must die. We know that from the trailers. We know that from the promotional material. You guys are all familiar with that concept already. Oh crap! But the reason that he turned away is because he considered freaking killing Kylo Ren, and it wasn't even a good reason. Like, okay, you know what? The fact that they said what they said and they did what they did. Like, the aspect of that, okay, if someone, like, pitched that in the meeting, right, and they're like, okay, what if Luke Skywalker went off and just was like, and realized that, like, Kylo Ren was too much to contain, he was too dark, if he let him loose in the world, it would just be bad for the universe. That didn't even from that, even if you were okay with that notion, which I'm not okay with that, even if you're okay with that, the motivation behind it, or the way in which they depicted it in the movie, we saw nothing about Kylo Ren at that point in time when he was a Jedi student underneath not Yoda, under Luke. There was nothing that indicated that Kylo Ren was a bad guy. He was sleeping. He was just sleeping on his cot. All we have is Luke's word that he says that, oh yeah, like Kylo Ren was the bad guy. Like we were told how we should feel about the sequence instead of being shown that. You know what I mean? It wasn't like we were shown it. Like, we didn't see Kylo Ren killing babies or doing genocide against Tusken Raiders. You know what I mean? Like, we got nothing. We saw him sleeping in a bed. That was the extent of Kylo Ren's evilness. Him sleeping in a bed. So, when I first saw the scene and I saw, you know, I knew the scene was going to come up where Luke would have, there would have been 3 sides to the story, right? Luke's side of the story, Kylo's side of the story, and what the actual truth was. And I understood that, you know, what Kylo saw probably wasn't actually what Luke was doing. He probably wasn't thinking, oh, you know, I'm going to murder you, and having this rage-filled look. And I also didn't think that, you know, what Luke was saying in the beginning where he was just like, you know, Kylo attacked him. I didn't think that was the truth either. But that just did not sit right with me. Like, that's one of the things that I absolutely 100% hated about this movie. Actively hated about that movie. That was not my Luke Skywalker. And that's the one thing I wanted from this new trilogy. That's the one thing that I thought I was excited for, was seeing Luke Skywalker, the Jedi Master. Not even the ending. Even though, okay, so we got the ending, you know, Luke Skywalker had his, you know, redemption or whatever. But even that, it wasn't really earned. Like, even though it was a cool sequence, you know, the whole astral projection, he was not really fighting Kylo. He was on the planet, and you know, it was astral projection, whatever, right? That was cool, and I like that. If as a standalone sequence, it was shot beautifully. The sunset shot with Luke there meditating, and then him just going into oneness with the Force. That was beautiful on its own. That was a beautiful scene. But the foundations of that came by way of Luke being a fucking dick. Like, there's nothing beyond that. Luke was just a fucking dick. There's just so much ranting. Okay, my girlfriend's calling me right now, and I don't want to answer the phone. I'm gonna ignore the phone call. That's really bad of me, but I'm talking about Star Wars right now. She'll have to understand. Okay, so that was, okay, so I did the one thing I said that I loved, was all of Poe Dameron. Anything that dealt with Poe Dameron was awesome. Like, Poe Dameron to me was the MVP of this movie, if I gotta be honest. The thing I hated was Luke Skywalker. Luke Skywalker, I did not like any of his choices wow, I just got 2 kills. Oh, I just got 3 kills. Wow, I'm doing pretty well for not paying attention. Let me get this guy real quick. Okay, so things, I guess I'll just go through the movie as I remember it, and then I'll start opening up to discussion in the chat, and I'll talk to you guys and see what you guys thought about it, what things you guys want me to talk about. Okay, so the beginning of the movie, we open with the First Order attacking the Resistance. They're driving them away after the battle, after Starkiller Base is destroyed. I can't even remember all the movie. Okay, you know what? I can't do it like that. I can't think of the order of the movie. I just saw it. My memory's not fresh. I'll just talk about things as I think about them. What can I talk about right now? Maybe something else I liked, because I don't want to talk about things Okay, I thought the movie was kind of funny. It was kind of funny. It made me chuckle a few times. I had a few laugh out loud moments. I was entertained, you know? I can't ask more. But, by that same token, I thought it tried too hard at times to be funny. Like, I feel like it had that same issue that I'm kind of having with Marvel right now, where I feel like Marvel tries too hard to just insert the jokes and just get people to laugh, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like some of the jokes worked really well, but then sometimes it was just like a little bit too much. It was like, stop trying to be funny with Star Wars. Like, you usually can do comedy pretty naturally on your own. You don't need to like force your way into being like comedic.
Let's see what we can do.
Man, my fingers are so cold. Like I told you guys, I walked home, so like my fingers are really cold right now. Get away from me! Oh man, I got killed. So yeah, the comedy, yeah, some of it was good for me, some of it wasn't that great. Wow, how can I not be a hero right now? Like, really? I have all these points and I can't be a hero? Are you serious? Wow, I should play while I talk more. I play a lot better at Battlefront when I'm talking more. I should talk about something I like. Okay, Finn. Let's talk about Finn. I was okay with Finn. Again, like I said, some of the comedy bits didn't land for me. The first scene we see of him, when he wakes up, I felt like was a little bit them forcing comedy. Like him waking up, falling off his medical bed. I mean, the last time we saw Finn, he was like near death. It should be a pretty, I don't know, like I felt like the reintroduction to Finn was kind of weird. And again, it was like a forced bit of comedy for me. That might not be for everybody. Like that might not be the case for everyone. Hey, stop trying to kill me. Oh, Kylo Ren. Hey, we're supposed to be homies. We were almost gonna be homies in the movie, man. We were almost homies, man. We could have been, man. You know what? Did anybody get vibes in the movie that Kylo Ren and Rey looked like they like wanted to bone each other? Like I got feelings that they were like into each other, like really into each other. But I guess that's another. Well, you know what? Maybe I can talk about that right now. So. The Rey and Kylo stuff, I liked, actually. I liked the connection that they were having between one another. And when Kylo was saying midway through the movie, when he was like, why is it we're connected? Why is this happening? Why am I defeated? What the heck? Am I not allowed to go down there? Well, that's messed up. You should have told me that, game. But yeah, I kind of felt like they were like... But then at that point, when they had the connection, I was like, oh, okay, maybe they're both Skywalkers. And they both have, like, you know, the same bloodline. That's why they're connected to each other. Oh, also, I'm calling BS. I'm calling BS on Rey's parents being nothing but drunks on Jakku. I'm calling that a red herring. That is most definitely a red herring. Hey, what's up, bro? Hey, Bosch. Take some of that. Wait, hold on. Let me get Bosch real quick. Let me go kill this Bosch real quick. Wow, I'm missing like crazy right now. He has no idea I'm behind him. Oh, now he does. Yeah, I was gonna try and kill him. Yeah, I'm calling BS on that. Her parents are definitely not some drunks on Jakku who sold her and just left her for dead, or like left her on the planet with that plank guy, whatever, that ugly dude from Jakku. No way. Okay, I can talk a little bit more. Yeah, I'm calling bullshit on that. But I did like the stuff between Kylo and... Sorry guys, I'm really ranting right now because this is literally just me coming right after the movies and like pouring out all my feelings. But yeah, those two I liked. I liked the scene between them after they defeated Snoke and all the Red Guards. And then there was a really genuine scene, I feel like, between Adam and Daisy, where Adam or Kylo was like, you know, you're so close, like, you know, join me, like, you're so close, like, why are you? And then Rey saying like, no, don't go that way. Like, I felt the emotion between them, and I felt the connection between them. I felt like it was a nice build up, and I really actually believed in that relationship, and I wanted to see them, like, I really kind of in a way I was like, hey Rey, maybe you guys should join each other, like, come on, join hands and, like, you know, make something better, you know, like and Kylo said it. He said, let's put behind, like, no Republic, no Empire, no Jedi, no Sith. Like, let's just remake this thing. Like, well, he wasn't saying anything that bad. He wasn't saying... I mean, the one thing I think Rey had an issue with was that when Kylo came out and he said, let's rule the galaxy, like, let's rule the galaxy with an iron fist. Something to that effect, right? Kind of like the Vader thing in Empire Strikes Back. I think that's what Rey was kind of like, you almost were there, Kylo. Like, I was almost with you until you said that world domination type shit. Sorry for the cursing, by the way. I'm trying not to curse. So I was cool for that. What I did not like, oh my god, the freaking Snoke death scene? What was that? Okay, I literally thought that was fake, because when he killed Snoke, when that initially happened in the movie, I was like, okay, oh my god, my brain, I have to talk slower, or I'm just trying to get on my mind. Sorry, I cannot talk to you right now, I'm trying to jump in. Okay, Okay, hold on. I'm gonna talk to my girlfriend right now because she this is the second time she called me, and I'm wondering if it's like an emergency or something. Hold up. Sorry guys. Hello? Hello? Can you hear me? Hello?
Vessel has made station fall and rebel boarders are abandoning their ship.
Tacos are dope. I'm down.
They are inside the depths.
No, I'm streaming right now. I'm actually on stream right now. You're live on camera, so don't say anything crazy. Alright, cool. Alright, bye. Alright, cool. So, what was I at? Oh, Snoke. That Snoke death scene. What in the world was that? like I literally, okay, I thought it was fake. I thought that when he was killed, like when we saw the saber like go through, I thought, okay, maybe he's a hologram or maybe he's doing some astral projection. I mean, we already got the notion that Snoke was supposed to be like, you know, he's been doing that throughout the entire movie. He was manipulating both Rey and Ben Solo, like, to have their conversation together. So I was like, okay, maybe he's not, like, maybe that's fake. He didn't really die, but he really died, and I'm like, what? How is he really dead? Like, that's supposed to be the big bad. That's supposed to be like the Palpatine of this trilogy, and they just killed him off. Now, I will say, I will give him credit that that was a really bold choice, and that it was very different, and I give him props for that. But the issue with it is that it's like, okay, so where does the story go from here? Like, what, do we just like watch Kylo Ren, like, you know, taking over, or like, oh my god, too many people, oh my god, too many people, run away, oh my god. Like, where do we go from here? Like, how does that work? How does that, like, how does, and I also felt like in general, like overall, Rian Johnson did not give a lot of room for a third act in the movie. I felt like I was saying before at the beginning of the movie and the whole subject of this video, the Force, not Force Awakens, The Last Jedi is a mess. Like, it really does, it tries to do too many things. It has too many storylines. It tries to, like, cover all these different kinds of, hello, you wanna die today? No, I'm gonna die today. And yeah, like, at the end of the movie, like, when I was, like, the third act of the movie, it was, like, wrapping up, I was like, this feels like it's, like, the end of the trilogy. Like, this feels like it's concluding, not the middle of the middle of the trilogy. Like, you know, it doesn't, I don't know, that felt wrong to me.
We are too late.
But, oh, what do you mean fall back? I gotta fall back? Fine, I'll fall back. What was I talking about? But yeah, the Snoke thing was so bizarre. Like, I literally watched that and I was like, what? like what? Like, this is really happening right now. Like, Snoke is just dead. Like, he was built up in the first movie. You know, we see him as like this big thing, and then like, and then the stuff in between, like I was saying before, some of the comedy stuff didn't work for me. Like, the one little scene, there was the small little scene between Kylo Ren and Hux, and like Kylo Ren says like, I'm taking power now, like Snoke is dead. I felt like that didn't really, that fell flat for me. I'm talking about things I don't like. I swear to God, I didn't hate this movie, guys. I swear to you, I did not hate the movie. I'm not trying to make it seem like that's what happened, because that's totally not what happened. Let me talk about things that I like, because I should do that. Well, I did. I've been talking about, I like the Rey connection. I like the Poe. I like the Kylo Ren Rey stuff. I like what they did. Oh my God, when she went into like her version of the Dark Cave, when she went inside that hole, that sequence was really, really cool, and it felt like the way she had all those clones of herself when she was like seeing her reflection, and like dealing with that situation. Wow, I'm not doing really well right now. I thought that worked really well for me, and it kind of, for me, felt like what a Jedi perceives in terms of like how they see time in the future and how they see time in the past. I thought that was a really cool sequence. Like, I thought that was really artfully done. Oh, speaking of artfully done, what I really like too, when that commander, the one with the purple hair, I forget her name, she's a new character, the one who was like beefing with Poe Dameron, when she did that light speed suicide thing, that was dope. Like, that took my breath away. Like, I can't not deny that. Like, that literally took my breath away when I watched that. I was like, dang, that was dope. You know, like, that was really cool. Like, I like that sequence a lot. Yoda kind of threw me off in this movie. I think it would have been more effective if the Force Ghost spirit that came to Luke, that kind of helped him change his mind a little bit, would have been Anakin Vader. Like whether it's Hayden Christensen or they get an old guy who looks like old Vader, whichever the case, I think that would have been more effective because Vader has already gone through that plight. Oh, and also the other thing I don't like about Luke and him saying that he can't make Kylo good again, or there's no him turning him back. Like, bro, why does Rey have to remind you that you brought Vader back to the light? Remember when that was an impossible task? Remember when Yoda told you that was impossible? You could never do it. Obi-Wan Kenobi told you that you could never do it, and Obi-Wan was like, you gotta kill your father, and Yoda's like, you gotta face your father, and then Luke was the only one who said no. They're still good to him. They're still light to him. There's always light. Like, what made you forget all that? What happened to my Luke Skywalker? Okay, sorry. I'm ranting about Luke Skywalker again. Sorry. This is so bad. I'm sorry. Let me talk about Yoda again. So the Yoda sequence. Yeah, it threw me off for a second because I was like, is that a CG Yoda? Is that a puppet Yoda? But then I realized it's a puppet. And also the look of it, I was like kind of thrown off because I was like, oh yeah, that they're going more for like the old school Ralph McQuarrie original look of Yoda when he was a puppet, you know, in Return of the Jedi Empire Strikes Back. So at first it threw me off just a little bit because it felt like it was CG, but then also puppetry going on and like that. But I did like the little bit where he was kind of like giggling and says like, I missed you, Luke Skywalker, you know, like I liked him doing that. And I kind of like the idea of Luke cutting himself off from the Force, which makes sense for why he didn't know that Han Solo died. Sorry, my gameplay is really bad right now, guys. I'm just talking and ranting. But it makes sense that he wouldn't know that Han died and what was going on in the galaxy because he literally cut himself off from the Force and wasn't letting himself, you know, surround himself in any of that. So that was okay. That was a good choice. Like I think that made sense. Though I didn't like Luke at all. I mean, I didn't like what they did with Luke. What else can I talk about in the movie? Oh, the whole that casino planet, the Canton. I don't know the name of the freaking casino planet. I don't know the name of it. That was probably my least favorite sequence in the movie, and then them running away with the race horse thingies, the contours, the Cothors. I don't know what they're called. You know, one of their names. I wasn't. Oh my God! Even Battlefront 2 got Luke Skywalker more right than The Last Jedi. Okay, sorry. That's the last thing I'm gonna say about Luke Skywalker. I'm sorry. But yeah, the casino stuff was kind of weird. I kind of like Benicio del Toro's character. He was a little bit eccentric, and I kind of like eccentric sometimes in my movies and such. Like I felt like Newt Scamander in Fantastic Beasts. I liked him a lot. I did like Benicio del Toro in this as well. I liked the scene a lot where he was speaking to Finn, and he was talking about wars and you know, that good guys, bad guys, you know, like how this guy got his riches, the guy that they stole the ship from. He got it by selling warships to both the Resistance and the First Order, you know, and that's like kind of real life, you know, in a way. America is known for doing that. We've funded many a war on both sides and had it bite us in the butt a few times. I'm not going to get political about this, but, you know, like that hit home for me. I thought that was a cool little moment. That was one of my more favorite scenes. I didn't really care too much for the new Rose character or the arc between her and Finn. I thought it was kind of awkward, that little love story that happened. I mean, I kind of saw it coming. I saw that developing, and I kind of got that she was getting a crush on him, and you know, she was kind of starstruck by him, but I wasn't really feeling it all that much at the end. But when Finn was about to die in that sacrifice, I was like, oh my God, they're really about to kill Finn right now? I was like, I mean, I'd rather they wouldn't do it, but I mean, if it happens, it happens, you know. But I thought that was
Today, the First Order will triumph.
Oh, so this is the final scene from the movie where Luke was right there. Luke was right there. It was cool. I have to admit, before we figured out that it was an astral projection Luke, and it wasn't really him there, and like the First Order just like decimates him with their laser and everything. Like he's like, Kylo's like, concentrate all fire to that section. I thought that was awesome when Luke like comes out. But again, I didn't really like the performance of Luke so much. Like when he came out of the cloud storm after they like shot all their weapons at him and he like dusted off his shoulder. I was like, that was a little bit too cutesy. Like that was a little bit too cheeky. I wasn't really a fan of that. Yo, I need you guys to die. I need you guys to die. Why are they dying? Hold on. Yeah, I didn't like that. And the choreography in this. Oh god dang. The choreography in the movie I wasn't a big fan of. I don't think the fights were bad or anything like that. I just didn't really care for it all that much, to be quite frank. What else can I talk about? I know I'm missing so many things. I'm gonna open it up to the chat because I know you guys are going to be like, talk about this, talk about that. What did you feel like about that? So I'm gonna look at the chat in a second. Let me hang out right here so I don't get shot out of nowhere. Let me read the chat. What are you guys saying in the chat right now? Because I know I'm forgetting a lot of stuff because I'm just doing this off the top of my head. Legend 95 says, shame. I was hoping that this movie would be spectacular. I mean, it could be. I mean, some people think the movie is spectacular. I've had friends. I had a phone call with my friend when I've been texting a few people, and there are people who are loving this movie. Like, they're really, really loving it. I know one guy, this one reviewer that I follow, his name is Jeff Kanata, he was even going as far to say, it's like, this is the best Star Wars movie ever. Not at all. Like, I would never in a million years say this is the best Star Wars movie ever. I don't even think it breaches my top 3, to be honest, or even top 5. I don't know. Again, I have no idea. It's so hard to place this movie because it's on such a huge spectrum for me of liking it, disliking it, hating it, and loving it. Like, it's so unbalanced. Like, with a movie that's about balance, it's so unbalanced for me. That's so funny to say. I did like the subplot with the Resistance, that there was a lot of infighting. We saw a little bit of that in Rogue One as well. You know, like, since the Resistance isn't a legitimate army and there's no real ranking to it, like, people can kind of do whatever they want, even though, you know, you can get court-martialed and all. Let me get this headshot again. Let me get this headshot. Wow, I'm missing. Oh god. Oh, let me get some. I want to get at least one headshot just to feel good about myself. I need to get on my face. I want to get. Where are they? Where is everybody? Oh, there's one. Oh, let me get another hit. I got hit mark. Ah, they always dip down. I never get them. Let me read the chat some more. The opening ship shot was weird. I thought that was okay. Like, it zooming in. I mean, it was different for sure. It was a little bit weird, that opening shot, but it was all right. That was the least of my the things I had issues with the movie. Like, the opening shot was, I think, all right. And I think some of the shot choices were pretty cool in this movie. There were some really beautiful shots. Again, like I was saying, with Luke facing off against all the AT M6s was dope. Even though it didn't end up actually being Luke, it still was pretty dope. Him being on that rock and then him, you know, becoming one with the Force was pretty cool. Like, that was all right. Ben Creasy says, better than all the prequels, better than Rogue One, better than A New Hope and Return of the Jedi, second best movie, if not the best. Oh man, yeah. I don't know if I agree with you there. Don't think it was. It was too much. It was too unbalanced for me to put it anywhere near my top 3. But again, I don't even know where I can rank it. Again, I don't even think I'm gonna rank this movie until like a year from now, because it's too fresh. I haven't sat with it. I haven't like I'm gonna rewatch it tomorrow. I'm gonna rewatch it. I have a showtime tomorrow at 10 o'clock. I'm gonna watch it again. So I gotta mull it over. But off of just my gut reaction, definitely not my top 3. Before the Galactic Republic had controversies, what military force did they have? Let's try to keep the discussion about The Last Jedi. The reason Luke gave up on Kylo was that with Vader, all he knew about his father was that he was a great Jedi, so he looked up to him. But with Kylo, he saw his entire transformation, much like Anakin's. That's okay. Here's the thing about Lycan Arcanid, who said that in the chat. That is fine conceptually. That is completely fine conceptually. The issue with that is that Luke tells us about this. He tells us about his fears about Kylo, but we never see anything wrong with Kylo. Literally, the only thing we see him doing is sleeping in a cot. All we see him doing is sleeping, and nothing else. Like, we don't actually see his actions as a Darksider. We don't see why he's such a big bad, why he's so dangerous. We just hear Luke talk about it, and we just have to take him on his word. And based on what we've seen from Luke in the movie, I don't know if he's the most trustworthy person to like to be the judge of that. You know what I mean? Like, oh, let me get that kill. That's cool. I didn't know I could be on the. Oh, I thought I could stay on here. Hey, stop killing me, please. Yeah, like, I don't think that was earned. That was not earned whatsoever. Like, that did not work for me at all. Let me see if I can get these kills. Let me get this kill real quick. Got him. Let me get you too. I believe there were 3 bad things in the movie: the red ninjas, the lack of payoff of anything Finn did, and floating Leia. Oh no, I loved floating Leia. Floating Leia. All right, I'll talk about everything. Yeah, the red guard was kind of silly. Like, in my theater, people were ecstatic about that when they were like, "Oh my God, Rey and Kylo Ren are teaming up and they're fighting together." Like, I thought conceptually, yeah, that was cool. That was kind of cool. I wasn't like gun-ho about it like the people in my theater were, who were like, "Oh my God, like Rey and Kylo are fighting together. That's so awesome." And also the fight itself, I thought the choreography wasn't that great. I think the kills were good. The kills were clever and they were really good, but I don't think the choreography itself was all that interesting or all that great. And the red guards were like pushovers. They're supposed to be like the elite guard of like Supreme Leader Snoke. They should have been a little bit better. I feel like they were like kind of like they were kind of pushovers a little bit. I mean, yeah, they had like those grapplings and they kind of like got close up on Kylo and Rey, but I feel like the way in which they got into those binds didn't really feel like, I didn't feel like they were ever really in danger in that fight. I feel like that fight was just about, oh, look how awesome this team up is, rather than being like a real like, that this fight is like, this is a legit fight and they're gonna, you know, and then they're gonna, you know, be badasses or whatever. But yeah, but like you were saying before, the floating Leia scene I thought was beautiful. I love that in the movie, man. Like, and it got me teary-eyed too, because, you know, the fact that, you know, Carrie Fisher passed away, that sequence really hit me hard, and I think it did really well to see, you know, Leia on the brink of death, and then coming back and then using the Force to push herself back into the ship. Like, I thought that sequence was really beautiful. That sequence really worked for me, and I love seeing Leia's use of the Force, because it's so much more different than the typical use of the Force that we get most times in the movies and the TV shows and the comics, because she's so far less combative, like than anyone else. I'm gonna be honest. Okay, I said I was gonna stop talking about Luke. I'm gonna be honest. When I thought Kylo killed Luke and he, like, you know, put a hole in him, I'm gonna be honest. I actually thought I was actually okay with it. I was like, you know what, fine. I don't like this Luke Skywalker. Kill him. I don't care. Like, I did not care about Luke dying potentially. And then when he actually did die, while I did think that sequence was beautiful, I actually did not care about him, like, being dead. All right, again, okay, I swear that's the last time I'm talking about Luke. That's it. What was the other thing you said you liked? You said red ninjas, Leia floating, and you said something else, but I forgot what the other thing you didn't bring. And Poe's arc. Yeah, I feel like Finn. I felt Finn was kind of put to the wayside in this movie. I mean, I liked him still as a character. I think John Boyega did good, but I felt like they didn't know what to do with him in this movie. Like, I feel like they're just like, oh yeah, Poe, he's like, he's a guy in the movie, right? Like, he should be doing things, right? But I don't feel like that he actually did anything that interesting or that great. Like, his and Rose storyline, I felt was like my least favorite of the. Wait, hold on. Let me get these headshots real quick. Let me get these headshots. Got him. Oh no, I didn't. I missed it. But yeah, that whole sequence was just weird. And again, it wasn't like I disliked Finn. I still like Finn as a character, but yeah, I think his storyline was pretty weak in comparison to what was going on with the rest of the movie. And every time we went back to him, I was kind of like, Murpadirt, like, you know. And also, Rey didn't really get that much training, you know. Like, I mean, she did. Oh, well, to be fair, she did take the books from the old Jedi tech, so.
Don't feel active.
So that was cool. Like, I like that she got her book and everything. I feel like I'm gonna get shot, but no one sees me. Oh, there's somebody. But yeah, like, she shouldn't be like uber good. Like, even when she was fighting the Red Guards, or like, yeah, I like how even Snoke at the beginning of the movie is like, "How did you lose to a girl who's never picked up a lightsaber in her life?" It's not like the internet. Like, when Snoke said that, I was like, dude, he's speaking as if he's like the internet, because all the internet's saying the same thing about.
Charge set on my position.
Let me get this headshot real quick. Got you, bro. Sniper battle. I won that battle. All right, let me see in the chat. I thought Yoda was one of the best parts of the film. I was okay with Yoda. I don't think it was the best part of the film. I didn't hate the Yoda sequence, but I didn't like love it either. I was kind of indifferent to the Yoda stuff. I was kind of flabbergasted. I was just like, this is happening like this? This is happening? Like, I don't know. Like, again, I just felt like too many things were in the movie. Like, you know, getting hit with Yoda, and then all different storylines. I don't know. There was no focus. One of my favorite movies, I mean, my favorite Star Wars movie ever is Empire Strikes Back, and there's just such a simplicity to that movie. Like, you know, there's a plot going on. There's a
Scrambling sensors.
dang. There's a plot going on, but it's very simple. You know, I can follow it. I'm gonna read the chat. So I want to make sure I'm not the only one who saw the Jedi text in that drawer at the end of the movie, right? Yes, you're right. Rey totally takes the Jedi text with her. She's going to pass on. She's going to pass on the Jedi religion. That definitely was the thing. And also, the thing with Han Solo's dice, the one that's in the Millennium Falcon, I don't know how many Star Wars fans are actually going to understand that. Now, I'm not one of those guys who goes like, oh, they didn't explain that well enough, and no one else is going to understand that, because, man, forget that. Like, I understood that, so I get it, but I will bring that up, but I don't know how many people are actually going to know that those dice that Luke brought back to Leia, and that faded away when Kylo Ren saw it as well. I don't know how many people actually know that that's from the Millennium Falcon, and that's was one of Han's possessions. Like, I don't think too many people would be familiar with that. Oh god. Oh god. Is that a Wookiee? Oh god. Oh god. No, I don't want to die. I got deep behind enemy lines. Unless Rey is some great prodigy from birth, she is really powerful for seemingly little reason. Yeah, I agree. Like, I think Rey is too good without having any proper, like, actual Jedi training. And also, you know what kind of bugged me? Is what is so special about Kylo Ren? Like, when everybody's talking about, like, you know, Luke was talking about, oh, he's this great power, he's so dangerous, or like, Snoke is like, oh, you know, Darth Vader, blah blah blah. Like, when you actually look at it, like when Snoke faced off against Kylo, it's like Snoke is way more impressive than anything that Kylo's been doing. Like, what is the big deal with Kylo? And the thing is, I actually like Kylo Ren. I like him as a character. I like him. I like his look. I like that he smashed his helmet and did away with like trying to be a Darth Vader imposter. But I don't see what's so special about him. Like, I want him to be cool too, because I like him so much. But there's nothing special about Kylo. I don't understand why everybody's like, why everything's revolved around him, or why everything's revolved around Rey as well. Like, why are these people so special? I don't like the fact that Rey actually could even stand a chance against Kylo in Force fights. That actually I'm okay with, because that whenever they were tugging each other with the Force, it was more of like a tug of war situation. So if we're to believe that she has this great raw ability and it's just a will of the Force, that's fine. The issue I have is when she's actually having fights with Kylo. And also, there wasn't enough use of the Force. It seems like anytime that there was a lightsaber battle, they didn't use their Force powers ever. Like, they were never integrated. Like, I feel like, and that's the thing with all Star Wars movies, I don't think Force powers are integrated enough. Like, either it's like someone's using Force powers separately, or they're using their lightsaber, but they're never using their lightsaber and their Force powers in the same time. And it seems like Kylo Ren forgot that he can freeze people out of nowhere. Like, you know, when he was fighting those the Red Guards, it's like, hey, are you gonna freeze any of these guys? Like, that is kind of like one of your signature powers, and it's kind of like when I watched that originally in Force Awakens and I saw him do that freeze attack, I was like, dude, that's dope. Like, Kylo Ren is the business. Like, I was like, okay, I'm down for Kylo Ren. Kylo Ren's awesome, but ooh, it's like the movie, guys. Hey, let's do like Finn, and let's do a suicide mission just like Finn. Fine, let's do it.
Our orders are to keep them busy while command clears the facility.
Oh, I can't even go.
First, target those ADM-6s. Iron disruptors to weaken them.
Where y'all at?
And artillery to finish the job. It's up to us. We can do it.
Where y'all at? Oh, I'm gonna run them over. Cause you can run them over real easy with these ships. If you just go right over them, you can run them over. Look. Oh, I thought I missed them. Well, we're gonna take a break from talking about this movie while I try and not die. Where are these people at, though? I don't see a single soul right now. Oh man, you can't even aim up high. These, I don't even know, like, in terms of gameplay, I don't, oh wait, here's the guy, he's right over here, he's right over here. Like, I can't even aim down, like, these are like, these vehicles are like impossible to, wow, that was lame. I missed the Jedi fights. Yeah, I feel like the Jedi fights in this were not that great. Even the one with Luke, I think that was kind of cool. Like, it was just him evading Kylo, even when I thought that was like a real fight and it wasn't, I like how Poe in the movie, when he's like, he got here, there must be a way out, or something like that. Like, I thought that was kind of a funny thing. But yeah, the fights weren't that great. Yeah, Force Gaming, I agree, man. The Luke, Force Gaming in the chat says, the Luke I knew is dead. In the movie, sure, but the Luke I knew is gone. Yeah, I completely agree. Like, that is not Luke Skywalker. That's not what I wanted to see. I'm very disappointed in the movie and I was going to give him a chance. I was going to give him a chance and be like, you know what, yeah, give me a good reason for why Luke abandoned the Jedi Order, and I'd be down. And it was a very, very terrible reason. And I am not down.
Remember the General's words. Grenade ready.
Oh god, run away. I threw the bomb too close to my face. Just put that there. Let me read the chat real quick. In the next movie, where are they leaving off with Leia? Oh my god. And that too, I feel like the movie left nothing to be like really concluded at the end. Like, so much happened in this movie that I don't feel like I feel kind of bad for J.J. Abrams, because Rian Johnson didn't really leave a lot open for there to be concluded. Now, I might be repeating myself. I think I already talked about that earlier in my review. But yeah, it just feels like there's two.
They must be stopped.
Wow, I just died like crazy. Yeah, it felt like, I don't know, it was weird. It was weird. Did I like the Red Guard fight scene? No, I did not like the fight scene. I liked the kills, but I didn't like the choreography. What did everybody think about the visuals? I really liked the camera work. The centering on single ships was awesome in the space battles. I liked the Yoda puppet, and the CGI was good. Yeah, I thought it was shot well. There was a few shots that I thought were a little bit, like, didn't feel like Star Wars. Like, there was one shot when we, between Luke and Leia, where the camera was kind of shaky. And it just felt off. They felt kind of off. But other than that, like, I think some of the shots were really well composed and they were really beautiful. I think I see a guy. Oh yeah, totally. Get him. You dead. But yeah, I think it was shot well. It was a pretty film. It did its thing. It did its thing in the filmmaking department. Where you at? Oh, I got shot from the side. So where were the Knights of Ren? Oh my god, yes! Okay, so we get the indication that the Knights of Ren are a thing, right? Like, Luke says he had a dozen students, so we have a solid number. He had a dozen students. Kylo killed half of them, and then the other half were on the Knights of Ren. We're with the Knights of Ren and all that jazz, right? So, where are the Knights of Ren? Like we get, I think, a small indication of them in that flashback scene when Rey touches the saber and she sees him. But other than that, like, where the heck are they? Like you think you would? I mean, since Kylo Ren is the master of the Knights of Ren, you would think we would see, you know, some of the Knights of Ren. Like, that doesn't seem like that's too much to ask for. I think that's like should be expected, you know, like, I don't know. Like, I really was perplexed by the fact that we did not see the Knights of Ren, or what the purpose of the Knights of Ren are. Like, why is it that we don't, why is there no indication of the Knights of Ren? You know what I mean? Like, what is going, who am I shooting right now? Like, I don't even know what I'm doing. Like, this thing doesn't make no sense. I like to imagine the Knights of Ren are simply just frolicking in a meadow on Naboo somewhere else. That's kind of funny. Do you think the Knights of Ren should be Kylo Ren's personal guard? I mean, I'm guessing that's what's gonna happen, since Kylo Ren is kind of like the big bad guy now. He's kind of like, and I like the choice. By your side. Like I was saying, the killing Snoke off, although I think it's really weird and odd and puts the movie in a weird narrative space, I do think it's cool to kind of see, like, a what-if scenario. Like, what if Darth Vader did kill the Emperor? Well, I mean, he did kill the Emperor, but what if he survived the Emperor? What if he killed the Emperor and he survived him? Like, what if he did rule the galaxy? Like, we're kind of going to get that now with Kylo Ren, and, like, what would happen if Kylo Ren, or if Vader ruled? Like, what would that look like? So it's cool we're going to see that kind of, although I think the way that they got there was really awkward. it was just so bizarre. Like the Snoke death scene was just so bizarre to me. I still can't get over it. I would like to kill this guy, but he's not allowing me to do such a thing. God dang it. Hell, if they make a good Star Wars game, they could be the villains. Yeah. Now, I don't think some people look at this as like a really dire situation for Star Wars, like, oh no, Star Wars is ruined. I still think Star Wars is in a good place. I still think that we can still get good stories out of this new Disney canon. Although I don't have a lot of hope for. I don't have a lot of hope for the episode 9. Like, I literally don't know what episode 9 can do or where it's gonna go. With Attack of the Clones, at the end of that movie, we understood what was going on. We understood the stakes. We understood the Clone Wars are about to happen. You know, Anakin Skywalker is about to be tested with Empire Strikes Back. You know, we know that, okay, we got to get Han back. We have to deal with this Luke being Vader's son. You know, like we knew where the story was leading. But at the end of The Last Jedi, I have no idea where they're gonna go. I don't know what the next thing is, except for just like, you know, the impending battle, the arbitrary battle between the First Order and the Resistance. But other than that, like, what's happening? Ooh, you're gonna die. Oh, thank you for that easy kill, bro. Thank you so much. Get this kill too. Nope. You need to die. Ah, someone stole my kill. This is a good point. Maybe they just want to use them for a separate story. The Knights of Ren? No, that's stupid. Don't. Yeah, if you want to use them for a separate story, okay, that's fine, right? You can use them for a separate story. But they should be in the main saga film, especially with Kylo being like the creator of them and everything. Like, I think that's just silly. I think that's just silly. Oh, hello. Oh yeah? Take that. Oh, I killed him though. Did Rian Johnson make Rogue One? No, that was Garrett, oh my god, what's the guy's name? Garrett, oh my god, I forgot the director's name. Garrett something, I forget his last name. Rian Johnson, did this, but he is, okay, so now that too, because so, I'm in an interesting spot here, because I don't think I have an issue with Rian Johnson's directing, per se. Like, I don't think the directing was poor. So, I don't know if I'm excited for the trilogy that Disney is handing him right now, because I don't know if what's he gonna, I don't know. I mean, I will say that I think he will do better if he had a more focused story, because this was just so all over the place that I don't even know what to latch onto or what to say about Rian Johnson. But it's so much, man. Edwards, Garrett Edwards, that's his name. Thank you guys in chat. This is the first Star Wars film where I don't want to see the next one. You know what, DeBelly, I don't completely agree with that, but I do share that sentiment. This is the first Star Wars movie where I'm like, I don't really care about what happens next, or I'm not like, oh, okay, like, you know, what's the next thing? Like, you know, what are you gonna show me next? Like, I don't know, like, not so much that I, like, would say, like, I'm not gonna watch the next movie, or, like, you know, I'm not interested to see, like, where it goes, but, like, yeah, like, at the end of the movie, the end of the movie feeling I had wasn't like, yeah, let's watch the next movie, you know? Like, I didn't have that feeling. Oh, also, speaking about the ending, that was a weird ending, and I'm talking about the one with the kids. That felt very out of place. That didn't feel very Star Wars. It felt like a Marvel Cinematic Universe post-credit scene with the kid who was, like, you know, a Force user because he pulled the broom and he started sweeping. Like, that was so out of place, and, like, if the last shot of the movie should kind of encompass either the theme of the movie, the conclusion of the movie, or like tying up, you know, what the whole thing meant. And I don't think that tied up, like that had no setup. It just happened. It was just like, oh, by the way, there's gonna be more Jedi, or I don't know. It just felt weird. Unless maybe that's idea. Maybe that's Rian Johnson's new trilogy. Maybe it's this new Jedi Order trilogy with this kid, and like maybe with Rey being their master or something like that. I don't know. That's just a crazy idea. But yeah, that end sequence was really weird. I want to say Snoke isn't dead yet. I mean, like that would make the most sense to me, because the way he died, it was too easy. It was weirdly anticlimactic. Though people in my audience, when they watched it, they were like cheering. They were like, "Yeah, the big bad is dead." But I was like, I don't know if he really earned that death, or I don't know if, like, I don't know. It was weird. That was so bizarre to me. Like, I still don't know how I feel about that. That Plagueis, and I was gonna say Plagueis. That Snoke scene, man. That was so weird. I felt that was a wasted chance. Luke's Force Ghost should have appeared, and his whole purpose should be to recruit for a future Jedi. Also, I didn't get why... Also, okay, even though I thought the scene itself was beautiful with Luke being one with the Force and all that kind of stuff, I still don't actually understand it from, like, a narrative perspective. Like, why did he just let himself go? Like, he wasn't dying like Yoda. He wasn't, like, you know, on his deathbed. He just... It's kind of like Luke kind of gave up, if you think about it. I know I said I was going to stop talking about Luke, but again, he just bothered me so much. Luke bothered me so much. Like, why did he just give up? I mean, well, one could say that he was so exhausted from that astral projection that he did, and that was, like, his last effort, and that, like, you know, that all that energy he put into that made him die, or, like, you know, go off to being one with the Force. But to me, the way I kind of read it when I watched it, I was kind of like, it seems like Luke kind of gave up. He's kind of like, here you goes, guys, I'll save you, and then, you know, I'm just gonna peace out, bye, good luck with the First Order. Like, there was no reason for him. Like, with Yoda, Yoda had an excuse. Yoda was old as shit. The guy was 800 years old, you know? Luke didn't have the same excuse, so I hate it. Anyway. What was your best scene? My favorite scene. My favorite scenes... Okay, overall, I would say my favorite sequence of scenes were anything that involved Poe. My favorite individual scenes probably had to stem around Kylo Ren and Rey's conversations together, and I really liked the idea of them potentially, you know, teaming up and being one. Like, I liked for a moment there, it felt like they were, like, you know, together, and like they were starting to relate, and I like that, but that didn't really pan out, like, as we know. But yeah, those things I liked a lot, I would say. You, bro, need to die. Let me read the chat. Leia had the Force usage this film. Had the most Force usage this film. Snoke had a pretty cool lightning sequence. Like, I really like that Snoke, like he hit lightning on the floor, and then it kind of like went through the floor, and then it hit Kylo and knocked him back. Like, I thought that was pretty cool. No, I wouldn't say Leia had the most Force usage. I mean, Luke's astral projection was pretty huge. You know, like, he, like, forced Kylo Ren to think that he was fighting him, so that was pretty cool. And that was actually from the expanded universe, too. There was a sequence where Kaitis, I believe, thought that... I think Kaitis thought that Luke was there or something. I can't remember exactly how that sequence went in the EU, but that ability is not new for Luke. It is actually an EU ability. Get away from my face! Get away from my face! Oh wow, they really came in and just killed us. Oh, the Porgs? I didn't really like the Porgs, man. I mean, like, they were cute and everything, and the people in my audience loved it. I thought there was just too much of them. I thought they were trying too hard to be cute, too hard to be funny. Yeah, like, I wasn't a fan. Where is Luke's green lightsaber? Yeah, I thought about that too. I assumed that he got rid of it when he denounced the Jedi. I thought it was also weird too when we were first watching it, and you saw Luke with the blue lightsaber, and I was like, how did you get the lightsaber back? That doesn't make any sense, because we obviously saw it crushed by Kylo Ren and Rey. Oh, which is kind of cool. We're probably going to see a new lightsaber from Rey in the next movie, so that's pretty cool. But yeah, that was kind of weird. When I first saw it, I was like, what is this blue lightsaber? But I'm guessing his green lightsaber, he got rid of it. That's my guess. Oh yeah, I do like the part where Luke obliterated the building when he saw Kylo and Rey there. I thought how that plot line was going to lead was that because Kylo Ren saw where Rey was, he would know where the island was and would come for Luke or something like that. But of course, the plot didn't go that way. It was just weird, like, and even the fact that like Kylo is so conflicted. Why would Luke be so like, oh no, there's no light in him? Like, it's the whole freaking movie is him being conflicted. Like, there's no way you can say you can't bring him back to light. Luke just bothers me. Sorry. And oh god, Akbar with the off-screen death. I mean, it wasn't off-screen, obviously. He was blown up when everybody on the bridge got blown up, but that still felt very weird. Like to have Akbar kind of die off-screen. That felt like kind of like I don't know, it just felt weird. Like that was off-putting to me. Do you reckon she's gonna try and mend the lightsaber? Maybe. I mean, I feel like it's kind of like a wand, like a Harry Potter wand. Like once it's broken, that's kind of it, unless you have like the Elder Wand to put it back. Why do so many new people die? We don't even know who Snoke is. Yeah, I know. Like I don't think Snoke's death was earned. Like I talked about that earlier, but. What didn't you like from The Last Jedi? Man, I've been talking about that this whole stream. You can go back in time and watch that. The Luke on Paleo and Battlefront 2 was the Luke I knew. Yes, I agree. I actually said that earlier in the stream too. I was like, Battlefront 2 got Luke more right than The Last Jedi got Luke. It was utter chaos. Everyone was dancing around the light and the dark. Yeah. What is your thoughts on the music in The Last Jedi? I thought it was as forgettable as The Force Awakens. The only thing I can think of in my brain was the Kylo Ren theme and the Rey theme. But other than that, I thought the music was quite forgettable. I didn't think the music did much of anything for me, to be honest. Finn is in the movie. His plotline was probably the most boring. Though he was still cool, like the character was fine, but like his plotline with Rose, like this new character, I felt was kind of like whatever. Like it was. I mean, it was kind of cool. Rose, the character, I think was okay, but I wasn't like super jazzed about her.
Current support online.
Yeah, go ahead and throw some. I think I'm wrapping up. I'll do some. Let me sit my butt right here. Whoa! Stop shooting at me. Where are these droids out there? Oh god, please don't kill me! Please don't kill me! I'm just gonna stay right here. Just gonna stay right here, right? Okay, fine, I died. Even though I don't care much for Finn, I started to feel sad when he was charging at the cannon. It kind of helped make him more interesting. Yeah. When I saw that and he got really close to it, I was like, oh man, he's really about to die right now. I was like, I mean, I'd be okay with him dying, but I don't want him to die. But yeah, I like Finn. Finn is cool. Finn is a cool dude. He's a cool character. I just think that they didn't do that much with him in this movie, and I didn't really like where they took him. I didn't like his plot line in the movie. Yeah, his story was pretty weak. I already talked about my Yoda cameo thoughts. Collider mentioned the cast wasn't given notes on expanded universe content. That's why it doesn't mesh well with what we know from the well, yeah, they obviously weren't going by the expanded universe standards at all. I really thought they were going to do the Gray Force thing. Oh, and the Phasma and Finn scene, I feel, came one movie too late. I think that should have been in The Force Awakens, and also I think it's just kind of silly for non-Force sensitives to have melee combat the way that they did in the movie. Especially when, like, at the end of that fight, Phasma just goes ahead and pulls out a pistol, and she starts shooting at Rose. It's like, so why weren't you using your pistol while you were fighting, Finn? Like, I don't know, that the melee fight felt really forced to me. And also the fact, oh, and you know what was really weird too? After the destroyer, no, I got killed. After the destroyer got pummeled, and there's a lot of small moments like this in the movie that I feel like there was a lot of plot holes. Like, when did Rey get back on the Millennium Falcon after she had her little fight with Kylo Ren? When Homegirl, the girl who suicided with the Lightspeed cruiser through the big dreadnought, and when everything got destroyed, and like, you know, Finn and Rose were like in shackles, and they were surrounded by a big army of First Order stormtroopers. Why was it that they were the only ones that survived and all the other First Order troopers were all around them and dead? It's like, that didn't make any sense to me. Like, what? Like, I don't know. Like, that didn't make sense to me. There's like other small, like, things I can't think of right now, but like there were small plot holes like that that just didn't sit right. Did not sit right with me. Did you enjoy the bits of humor? Yes and no. Some of the jokes that worked well, or the jokes that worked well, and then some of the jokes fell flat, and I felt like they were trying too hard to be funny at times. They were trying too hard to get laughs at the audience. Yeah, I don't like the Rey's parents being junkies. I'm calling it right now. I think that is a red herring. I think that might have just been a way for Kylo Ren to get her to side with him, so that he can make her feel like she's wanted by nobody, and that he wants her, you know, just so he can make her feel special. I very much doubt that is truly what happened with her parents. Like, I doubt her parents are really deadbeats like that. I mean, but it could be true. And if it is true, what? When this is supposed to be about the Skywalker storyline, like, why is it that we're following the main character is a girl who has absolutely no ties with the Skywalkers? Like, I'm calling BS on that. Yes, the humor at the start was funny, but it just didn't fit. I agree. Some of the humor just did not fit. It felt like it was trying to be a comedy movie and not, you know, be just a regular Star Wars movie. Yeah, it's definitely got to be a red herring. Like, it has to be. No, I don't have any more data on the Red series. I would never use Snoke. I still would not use Kylo Ren because none of the combat in the movie was significant enough to use in a versus series context. So I still would not use Kylo Ren in a versus series. I'm gonna wait until the trilogy is over. I still not gonna use Rey in the context of the versus series. I don't think there's enough to go off of. Same with Snoke. I don't even think Snoke there's enough to go off on him either. But you know, I'm starting to round out here. Let us. No, let me quit because I'm done playing. I'm done playing. I think I talked about everything that I could talk about. What is the difference between the Knights of Ren and the Sith? Just different religion types. The Knights of Ren are just different. They're also Darksiders, but they're just different. The movie doesn't make any statement of this. Kylo does make mention of the Sith, but not in the context that he is a Sith. Just that he wants to go something. He wants to do something that's beyond the Sith, beyond the Jedi, beyond the First Order, beyond the Empire, beyond the Republic. He wants to make something new. Yeah, the Dreadlocks are kind of, and also I felt like the First Order kind of lost too easily at the beginning. I mean, sure there were some deaths on the Resistance side, but I feel like they felt like villains that couldn't get anything done. Like, they didn't seem like they get anything done. The evil BB-8 was actually kind of funny. Like, it was a cool little subplot. Like, it didn't have to be there, but it was kind of funny. Is the acting good? Yeah, the acting is always good with these movies. I never feel like the acting is ever that bad with any of these new movies. Did this movie make Star Wars less enjoyable? That's a loaded question. In some ways, yes, but in some ways, no. But in some ways, there were moments in the movie where I was like, this is Star Wars now, and I'm not jazzed about it. I am not jazzed about it. Alright guys, so that is it. We are going to film a Council Force cast on Sunday. It will be a live stream. I'll give you guys more information when I have it and all that jazz, but I think that's it. I'm done talking, man. My brain hurts. I know I missed some stuff, and I know I want to talk about other things, but that's pretty much everything that I wanted to say and wanted to get off my chest as like kind of like a rant and just my natural feelings after coming out of the movie and what I feel about Star Wars, what I feel about what episode 9 can be, how much I hated Luke and his choices. But yeah, I think that's gonna be it, guys. I'll see you guys. My brother on Facebook says, "Wow, I can't believe Kylo Ren was Rey's father." You know what? To be honest though, when she was looking at her reflection, I was like, "Is that gonna be Kylo Ren in her reflection?" And she's gonna realize that they're related or something. But yeah, guys, that's it. Let me talk to you guys in the chat if there's any more things that I missed. I'm sick of shitty command of the villains in the movies. Yeah, they were just following the Resistance around with all of the firepower. Missed opportunity to make Lando the codebreaker gambler guy. Yeah, maybe. Looking forward to it, and good night. May the Force be with you. Episode 8 was great. Sorry, man, I don't agree with you on that one. What do you think will happen in the next episode? Again, I have no idea. Rian Johnson did not leave anything really for the next one to go down. But that's it, guys. I'll see you guys at some point later and things and stuff. Peace. And much love to you.